This is why you have digestive issues, and this is what we're gonna do about it. Hello, welcome back to the Pure Soul channel. My name is Jessie, and on this channel we go over all things gut health, holistic health, and sunshine beachy lifestyle here in Florida. So subscribe, tune in every week, and let's do this thing. You're probably here because you've been told, or you know, that you have digestive issues. Maybe you've been told that you have IBS. Maybe it's constant bloating, maybe it's stomach pain, maybe it's irregular bowel movements. But these obvious digestive issues can lead to things like autoimmune disease, skin issues, migraines, brain fog, food sensitivity. There are so many things connected to your digestive system, or rather your gut microbiome. So you know you have digestive issues, you know you need to work on your gut health. What are we gonna do about it? This is exactly what this video is going to cover. These 5 tips are more practical things that you can do that you might not even expect would affect your digestive system, but they do. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. So without further ado, here are 5 lifestyle practices and tips on how to start healing your digestive issues. Number 1, eating until you are 80% full. This is a tough one. When you overeat, your digestive tract tends to get inundated, for lack of better terms. And so what can happen is this overstuffed food in your small intestine, your stomach, can start to actually ferment, and this can cause deeper root issues such as candida overgrowth, which is a fungal overgrowth, or bacterial overgrowth. This can also rub up against our digestive lining and loosen those tight junctions, creating more of a leaky gut type of deal, which is something that we do not want. This also brings into play your stomach acid pH. So if you don't have an acidic enough environment in your stomach, food is going to have a really hard time passing through, which can lead to constipation and then lead to that fermentation as well. So to prevent this, eat until you're 80% satisfied. When you're eating your meal, you're going to notice when you hit your point of, okay, I'm full, but I definitely could keep eating. And I know you know what I'm talking about. So you're at this point where you feel like you could eat more, but you don't necessarily have to. That's when we're gonna take a pause. You don't have to stop eating right then and there, but that's when we're gonna take a little 5-minute, 10-minute pause, just so that our mind and our gut can get on the same page. It takes a little bit of time for our gut to communicate to our brain, hey, okay, we're full, we don't need any more. This also comes with intuitive eating. So noticing when it's your body telling you that you're hungry and noticing whether it's your mind telling you that you're hungry. After this pause of 5 to 10 minutes, then you can reassess, okay, am I actually hungry? And go back in for more if you are still hungry. This is going to prevent overeating or the overstimulation of your digestive tract. Number 2, drinking water with meals is a big no-no. This may seem a little counterintuitive because obviously hydration is so important and you want to be drinking water, and in my last video we talked about how important hydration is. However, when you're eating your meals, you want to pause drinking your water. So you can drink water before, you can drink water after. Just take a pause in the moment of eating. And yes, you can have a sip if you need to wash something down, but there are a couple things that can happen when we do drink a lot of water with our meals. One is that it has a chance to affect the acidity of the stomach, leading to some acid reflux. Maybe your food feels like it's getting stuck in your chest, and then we just want to focus on digesting and absorbing that food. So giving your body more of a chance just to focus on the food itself, rather than having to separate the process of the water absorption and the food absorption. With this, you want to chew your food really well, take it nice and slow, focus on each bite, and then you can drink your water again once your meal is over. With digestive issues, we are just trying to make it as easy as possible for the body to focus on the food, digestion, and absorption. Because remember, it's not necessarily what you eat, it's how you eat and what you absorb. So taking one factor out of that equation is going to help the body immensely. Number 3, rather than focusing on what we can take out of the diet, focus on what you can add in that will add soothing, calming, healing effects to your body. Food is medicine. There are so many herbs, so many foods that can offer medicinal properties, especially for your digestive tract. The reason why this is so important and why elimination diets and food sensitivity elimination diets are not always super helpful is because you're taking out so many options for plant diversity for the gut. The gut microbiome thrives on plant diversity. This is rice, grains, beans, legumes, seeds, nuts, fruits, and veggies. So by eliminating everything that you may be sensitive to, you're decreasing the amount of diversity and good gut bacteria, prebiotic, probiotic rich foods that can be entering into the gut to help. You might be rolling your eyes right now because certain foods cause you to be inflamed. I get it, I've been there. However, if you are eating clean and nothing is helping, if you've taken out all your food sensitivities but that still hasn't helped, we might want to try something different. If you're intolerant to dairy, you don't have to drink a gallon of milk, but we can add in different herbs and spices and things of that nature to add in more diversity for the gut. Because if you take a food sensitivity test, which in my opinion is a myth, because if your body is already inflamed, of course things are going to show up as inflammatory markers coming into your body. And that also runs the risk of you eliminating 40 different foods out of your diet that could be actually super helpful for you. So instead of eliminating all of those foods forever from your diet, we're going to find a better way to tackle the root cause that's going on in your gut microbiome with more medicinal foods, herbs, spices. Comment if you'd like a video on what specific foods, herbs, and spices are medicinal and have these properties specifically for digestive issues. I am more than happy to make that. So little recap. Number 1, eating until you're 80% satisfied. Number 2, avoid drinking water with meals. And number 3, focus on what you can add in rather than what you can take out of your diet. Before we get to number 4 and 5, don't forget to subscribe and like to keep up to date with everything gut health, holistic health, and a Sunshine Peachy lifestyle. Number 4, eat without distractions. This one is probably going to be the hardest, if I'm being honest, because how many of you sit with your dinner, with your lunch, reading emails for work, on your phone, maybe watching a movie? We're going to take that out. This is a super helpful practice for digestion and absorption. There have been so many studies that show if you just sit with your food without any distractions, it actually is absorbed much more efficiently and more than if you were to sit with a distraction present in front of you with your meal. And while you're eating, you always want to focus on being in the parasympathetic state, which is the rest and digest state. If we slip into the sympathetic, which if I'm being honest, in society, most of us are chronically in this sympathetic response in our nervous system, which is fight or flight. So if you are someone who is watching a movie, watching emails on your phone, you have more of a chance for that stimulation into the sympathetic nervous system, especially even just multitasking, that tends to send us into the sympathetic nervous system fight or flight response. You will digest and absorb more food, more nutrients if you are in that parasympathetic rest and digest response. It's right there in the title. But in that fight or flight, in the other nervous system response, we are digesting less, we are absorbing less, and this can absolutely cause more of our bloating. If you're someone who is more stressed, or if you are in a stressful environment, if your work is stressful, take your dang lunch break. Just you and your food. This is also gonna help with number 1, eating until you're 80% satisfied, because you're gonna have that body awareness if it's just you and your food present. You can of course sit down with your family or friends to enjoy a meal. This is more speaking along the lines of outward distractions. Or if your family and friends stress you out, maybe eat by yourself. And lastly, number 5, mindset. This is a huge one. We lightly touched on it in number 1 and number 4, but your mind actually plays a huge role in your digestion. There's a lot of anxiety that comes with chronic bloating, digestive issues, where you're kind of nervous to eat things. You don't want to eat certain things. You don't want to go out to restaurants that you don't know how you're going to react to these foods. So with this, your mind can actually pull you into that fight or flight response, which again can cause some bloating and other harmful things in your digestive tract. So what we're going to want to do is just get our mind on board with our body in a healing state. So just talk kindly to yourself. You don't have to lie to yourself, but we are going to try to neutralize that fear and anxiety that comes with eating foods that we had eliminated, eating foods that we are not sure of, or just in general, if we're going to bloat, what kind of day we're going to have, all of these kinds of things. A big way that you can do that is through breath. So even when you wake up in the morning, that's when things start. Digestion starts in your brain. It's called the cephalic phase of digestion. This is what kicks on your saliva, your physiological response to prepare to digest food. All starts up here. So your mind plays a huge part in this. If you're saying, I'm not going to digest this food, there's no way I'm not going to be bloated after this, Of course your body is going to listen to your mind. So we're just gonna flip it. We're just gonna neutralize it. At least to the point of saying, I am healing. I trust my body to digest this. I know that this food is going to make me feel okay. You can just say okay. You don't have to say great, you know? Don't lie to yourself. My body is so capable. I am grateful for everything that my body does for me. Affirmations like this, it's going to be so powerful, especially without those distractions. When you sit down to eat, just look at your food and say, heck yeah, we got this, body. But seriously, when you sit down and look at your food, you can say, okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna be fine. We're gonna digest this food. We're gonna absorb the heck out of this food. And then during your meal, take it slow. Continue with those neutral affirmations. Say, okay, I'm digesting this food. I trust my body to digest this food. Same thing afterwards. Just keep those affirmations going. Don't let those negative thoughts creep into your mind, because then what are we heading into? Fight or flight response. And we do not want that. Bring it back in. Take a big deep breath in. Big breath out. And just reset. Stay tuned for next week's video on the next 5 lifestyle practices to start healing your gut. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to hear more about gut health, holistic health, and a happy beachy lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.